So what kind of car do you buy when you come to Germany? The BMW. So I was pretty excited when I first bought this BMW. You know, it's fast, it's comfortable, it's sporty. So now the problem is, in my experience with owning a BMW for the last few years, is that they're not so reliable, which can lead to some very costly repairs. Now you can learn from my mistakes in the other videos. We've made some tutorials on how to fix this stuff yourself. But if you're handy and if you're confident enough to learn how to repair your own car, owning a BMW can be a very rewarding experience. So if you're looking at buying a used BMW, I highly recommend you get it inspected first at a reputable shop. But if you're just going to check out a BMW on your own, here's 5 tips that can help you inspect the car on your own. So number 1, do your research. If you're interested or you find a car online, Google it. Check the engine code. Check BMW 325i issues, engine problems. Do some research before you walk in to check out that car and ask them about those issues. Have they been rectified? Have they been fixed? Are there any recalls on the cars? If you're browsing Craigslist and you find a car that's too good to be true, it is too good to be true. There's normally some hidden problem that the owner is aware of, and it's probably a very, very expensive repair. So number 1, do your research. So number 2, check for leaks. If you're interested in a 10 to 15-year-old BMW, it's most likely going to have a few leaks. The rubber, after being heat cycled for many years, gets old and brittle and hard, and that causes some leaks that can be, while the parts are quite cheap, an expensive repair. Now, most BMWs have an engine tray, an engine cover for aerodynamics underneath it, which makes it quite difficult to actually check underneath the car to see if there are any leaks because it pools in certain areas of the tray. So what I recommend you doing is getting a flashlight, looking down into the engine bay, and see if you can see any fluids sitting there on the engine tray. So I have a whole nother video all about leaks in the description below if you're interested. So number 3 is maintenance. Look at what has been done to the car. Ask the person for receipts. You can say all you want, but if they don't have a receipt, then maybe the repair has not been done. So you can go into the BMW service settings on the car to see in how long different things need to be done, like your brake pads or your brake fluid or your oil change. You can do that by pressing on the thumb, up and down thumb panel here, and scrolling to service info, and you'll be able to scroll through and see when the next item needs to be changed or repaired. Do a quick walk around, check the tires to see if they have any life left, check the brake rotors and pads. You can look at the coolant level under the cap to see if there's any milkshake there, which can indicate that's a bad head gasket. And unfortunately on these cars, on some of these E90s for example, you can't look at the condition of the oil because there is no dipstick. But check everything, check all the lights, the turn signals, the reverse light. Some electrical issues can be very costly to fix and require dealer specialty tools. So another major issue with BMWs is most of them come with run flat tires. So if you get a flat tire, you can still drive some distance before having to replace it. But however, the problem is when aluminum wheels run on run flats, they can get cracked or bent. So really you'll be having to replace a tire as well as a new rim. So as soon as your car needs new tires, I highly recommend that you ditch the run flats and buy some more reasonably priced regular tires. And if you want, you can also buy a donut wheel that can fit in your trunk that were designed for some European E90s. You can get them on eBay. When you go to start the car that you want to test drive, does it come with 2 keys? It can be really costly to get another key reprogrammed at BMW, so always try to get 2 keys with the car when you go buy a BMW. So when you go to start the car for the first time, I highly recommend that you check it when it's cold. Normally, if a car's been sitting for a while, you can check for noises, you can check for a puff of smoke coming out the back when you start the car. This could indicate there's some bad valve stem seals or something else going on with the engine. In the 2000s, the valve stem seals are notorious for failing.
So idle it for about 10 minutes, then give it a kick, and that's what you'd get. The oil would build up.
So listen to the engine. Does it make any weird noises? BMWs are known for bad hydraulic lifters. They make a clacking noise when cold. This engine had that problem, which we were able to fix with some better 5W40 oil. But I'll have another video all about oil linked in the description. But listen for bad pulleys. Listen for the different accessories in the front of the engine. The power steering pump, the alternator, they can make a whine. The different idler pulleys. These can all lead to problems down the road. When I bought this car, it was out of power steering fluid and it was making this really terrible whine. So I topped up the fluid and we got lucky. We didn't have to replace the pump. My air conditioning unit was whining when I first put the air conditioning on. 200 euros to get it recharged because it was low on refrigerant. Also, of course, a no-brainer is to check the dash. Do you see any engine lights? Do you see any error lights like mine? I have an airbag light on. These can be costly fixes to rectify later on. So as you can see, a BMW can be a very complicated headache, but it's up to you if you have the know-how and the willingness to invest in some tools and watch some YouTube videos like these to do the basic repairs yourself. You can get an awesome, comfortable, and sporty car for not a lot of money. So if this video was helpful for you, consider dropping a like and subscribing. If you have any questions about BMWs, put them down in the comments, or if I've missed anything that you should check. And also, if you're interested in learning how to work on your own BMW, I have a ton of tutorials on my channel of DIY BMW goodness, especially after 4 years of ownership. So thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys in the next video.